couple of different variants, the Sea Scout and the Wasp HAS-1, and 7 different military air arms acquired this machine. Very highly manoeuvrable, and emerging originally from the design that produced both the Wasp and the Army Scout. Has a crew of a pilot, a crewman and up to 4 passengers or a single stretcher, and differs from the Army Scout in that its undercarriage consists of 4 wheels rather than the 2 skids. It's powered by a 1050 shaft horsepower Rolls-Royce Nimbus turbo shaft. Very, very agile helicopter. Has a rotor diameter of about 32 foot or 9.83 metres. Maximum speed of 104 knots, which is just under 200 kilometres an hour. Why do we call it knots? That is nautical miles per hour. And that developed from the British Navy and the navies of the world and translated over into aviation. Looking very much like its namesake. It's an extremely capable helicopter. Could carry 2 Mark 44 or 1 Mark 46 torpedo, depth charges, 4 SS-11 or 2 AS-12 missiles, as well as flares, smoke and or flare floats. The differences between this and the Army Scout version also added additional fuel tankage under the cabin floor and a folding boom for the tail rotor, obviously to cut down the space required. Rotor blades could also be folded to reduce its footprint on the ship. Later the machine was modified to carry Nord SS-11 and AS-12 wire-guided missiles, as well as emergency ditching floats on either side of the cabin. Highly successful in the export market as well as the UK, was operated by the Malaysian Navy, the Royal New Zealand Navy, Royal Netherlands Navy, Indonesia, Brazil and South Africa. The final use of the type was with the Royal Malaysian Navy, and went out of service with that military air arm in 1998. One of the very special features of the Wasp is that it incorporated so-called negative pitch or superfine pitch, and that was added to the rotor blades, which enabled the Wasp to virtually land and stick itself to a pitching and rolling deck during the recovery phase. Something that's vital. If you've ever seen any of the films that show what a pitching rolling deck looks like, you imagine it's basically like trying to land something on the back of a bucking horse. And coming from very stable, straight and level or hovering flight, lowering down onto the deck and then trying to match the movements of the ship requires a huge amount of skill. So our hats definitely off to the pilots of the Royal Navy who do that as their bread and butter. This was designed originally to operate from Royal Navy frigates and carried 2 homing torpedoes as basically what they call the match concept, manned torpedo carrying helicopter, and that really did extend the reach of RN vessels in the anti-submarine role. Of course, this the 40th anniversary of the Falklands. This aircraft is painted in the camouflage and markings applied at HMS Endurance. This machine actually entered service with the Royal Navy in 1967 and operated with 829 Squadron on frigates HMS Leander and HMS Rill, and also with 703 Naval Air Squadron at Portland. Later became one of the 19 Wasps which served with the Royal New Zealand Navy until 1988. And for those of you who are into numbers, it served as serial number November Zulu NZ 3905. It's now owned by Terry Martin. And is one of the Navy Wing's historic aircraft
Memorial
that
1,
maintain the
Ragley Radio,
traditions
good afternoon.
of the Royal Navy.
Memorial 1, yeah,
Used very effectively as a sub-hunter with the Westland Wessex until the late 1970s. The 25th of April 1982, the Argentinian submarine Santa Fe was actually spotted by a Wessex from HMS Antrim and with links from HMS Brilliant attacked with Mark 46 torpedoes, depth charges and machine gun fire. Wasps were also launched from Endurance and Plymouth and fired anti-ship missiles. They scored hits which prevented the Santa Fe from submerging. The crew actually abandoned the Santa Fe at the jetty on South Georgia, surrendering to British forces, and this was actually the first casualty of the Falklands Sea War. As you can see, that camouflage very highly effective over there against the tree line. When it's standing out on its own, perhaps it looks a bit garish, but up against the trees, it does break up the line of the aircraft and makes it disappear into the background. Obviously, the sole aim of camouflage.
Memorial 1, the Wasp just positioning to land. Happy for you to run in when ready.
Terry just recovering the aircraft to its parking spot.
Now landing, happy for you to run in when
And ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, and those of you who are down there near where Terry is landing, give him a huge wave for that great demonstration in our Westland Wasp.